The drug market's never been the same, ever since it went digital. You don't need all those fancy herbs and powders to get yourself the perfect high anymore. All that was needed was the right string of code and a special pair of headphones. Enter the world of Synapse, a digital drug unlike any other. You don't shoot it up, and you don't sniff it up, you just have to listen up. All the junkies are getting their ultimate high with a dosage of binaural beats. Everyone's addicted to the rhythm of this sensual sound. Those who use Synapse say they can feel their minds wander to whole new galaxies and fantasies. Synapse can be customized in a multitude of ways. It can bring color to a monochrome life, or become the serene reprieve in a moment of chaos. Synapse can provide many things, but at the end of the day, it's still a drug. Once Synapse hooks you in, it's almost impossible to get free. Your mind becomes enslaved by manic thoughts, while your body trembles in anticipation for your latest fix. People seem to forget that drugs are made for the benefit of the supplier, not the user. A single dosage of Synapse is loaded with a jungle of subliminal messages meticulously crafted to make you an addict. What beautiful irony it all is. So many victims chase after drugs to find an escape, only to end up a prisoner. Whether it be digital or pharmaceutical, society is pumping out a cancerous poison at an alarming rate. That's where I come in. The name is Jaden Taylor. I'm the one dealing out this drug to your neighborhood. It's not like this is a life I chose to live. Growing up in New York, I learned from a young age that this city has no room for average folk like me. You have to be part of the movers and shakers to see the next day. I wasn't much for brains or brawn. I was just some normal guy, part of the same rat race as everyone else. My high school friend Jason was different though. He excelled in most things he did, and had a natural charm that made everyone orbit around him. He promised me one day he was going to run this city after graduation, and he certainly made true of his words. Jason started up a gang that specialized in redistributing Synapse. With a crew of well-trained code divers at his side, Jason made some major profit from the drug. He offered me a spot in his gang since we were so close. I became his pack mule. My job was delivering Synapse to his clients and making sure none of it got traced back to him. Like I said earlier, I don't stand out from a crowd. The only thing I'm good at is going through life unnoticed. I know all the best low-traffic areas in the city and stay away from security cameras on every run I make. Everyone's so caught up in getting the newest car or hoverboard, they never take a moment to get to know their city. In the shadows of this neon hellscape, I weave through narrow alleyways and jump over ledges in search of my clients. It is the seediest areas of New York that have the most lax security. I'm guessing all the bigwigs decided that if something happens to a bunch of good-for-nothing hoodlums, it wouldn't be worth their time to investigate. It works in my favor, so you won't hear me complaining. Getting caught with Synapse can get you a pretty hefty jail sentence. We all know how the government hates unregulated products and anything else they can't put a harsh tax on. Sending the Synapse code line is too risky, so it usually gets delivered in the form of a USB. It's inconspicuous enough that I can hide it in my sock on the off chance I get stopped by the police. I don't know exactly what it feels like to try Synapse, but my clients always look so strung out whenever I meet them. They'd have heavy eye bags, vacant eyes, and stare off into the distance, with jittery body language that made them look possessed. It's hard to believe that sound waves would become the new age version of meth. Over the past few months, there's been a steady uptick of Synapse-related incidents. The news cluttered with stories of people having hallucinations and psychotic breaks in public. Junkies were out there shooting at their inner demons manifesting in front of them. Needless to say, a bunch of innocents ended up being killed in the crossfire. This drug was racking up a serious body count. The shit weighed on my mind, making me feel that I was playing a hand in all that destruction. My last straw broke during a drug run gone terribly bad. I arrived at a client's house in the darkness of the night. The guy showed up right on time and was about to make the transaction when his brother popped up out of nowhere. He had tears in his eyes, pleading with his brother to turn his life around. He begged him to come back home, but my client wasn't hearing any of it. He cursed his brother out, and when that wasn't enough, he started punching his lights out. I have never seen a fiend look so possessed. He was attacking his own family like he was on the battlefield fighting for his life. A dude's getting battered right in front of me, and what do? My coward ass booked it out of there. As soon as I made it back home, I made an anonymous call to the police and tried washing away the memory from my mind. The whole situation was seriously fucked up. The next morning, social media was abuzz with the news of last night's tragedy. A drug addict killed his younger brother, all because he wanted him to go clean. The reporter said he was completely out of it during the attack. Reading that shit made me sick to my soul. A man was dead, and I was partially to blame. Death was never something I gave much mind. You can hardly go a week in the city without seeing someone get sent away in a body bag. What made this different was that it felt like I had blood on my hands, all because I was such a coward. I had to call this whole thing off. All this drama was seriously messing with my mind. I told Jason that I was done riding with his crew. Big mistake. He flipped the fuck out on me, talking about how he did so much for me and lined up my pockets. He wasn't wrong, but that didn't change the fact that my mind was made up. I tried leaving his hideout, but his boys circled around me with their guns at the ready. Turns out that my life was under Jason's license. I had to pump his drugs into whatever neighborhood he wanted, or else I'd end up dead in a gutter somewhere. It's crazy how much this city changes people. The same people you used to ride with are the same ones who will lay you down in a coffin. I continued selling drugs for Jason, even though all the guilt was eating away at me. It was hot in the streets, and the police were cracking down real hard on guys like us. Cops began patrolling around the meetup points I usually went to. This meant I had to start selling farther away from home to play it safe. It was a chilly Friday afternoon when I walked into a dark alleyway to meet up with a buyer. I was surprised when an androgynous-looking guy walked up to me with his sapphire blue hair. His face was so smooth and clean, almost like a doll's. He didn't at all look like the usual drug addict I met up with. That's because he wasn't. The whole thing was a setup. He told me about how he knew who I was and that how I'd be turned into the police unless I gave him whatever intel he wanted. I would have bolted it out of there, but he fired off a neon laser at the ground a few inches in front of me. He was packing a neon flex, an energy-based gun that fired blast of neon at the target. It was less fatal than actual bullets, so it was perfect for taking down your ops without adding another body to the morgue. What confused me was why someone would handicap themselves like that. People were out here with live ammunition in their pockets and were waiting for any reason at all to pump someone full of lead. A snitch is the last thing I would ever call myself, but I sure as hell didn't mind throwing Jason under the bus to get me out of jail. In exchange for my intel, this guy was going to take Jason's gang off the streets and make sure my name never came up in any reports. I asked this guy who the hell he was. Nobody in this city is ever that charitable. He told me his name was Imani, and to go to the Dragon's Head bar if I ever wanted a new job. What choice did I have but to take him up on his offer? He saved me from a life of servitude to that one-eyed snake, Jason. Turns out Imani wasn't some random good Samaritan. He was part of a gang of rebels called BTB, Beyond the Binary, who clean the streets of local street thugs and redistribute the wealth back to the common folk. The scant amount of homeless shelters and food pantries in the city are apparently founded by them. I don't know if these dudes can be considered heroes or whatever, but they're the closest thing the city has to them. I ride with them now. They've been teaching me the ropes of hacking past firewalls and how to handle myself in a fight. Nowadays, I'm hacking into megacorp databases to give knowledge to the people and transporting food and medicine to those in need. I'm so grateful for all that they've done for me. They've saved me at my darkest hour, and now I'm repaying the favor by keeping the streets clean. To anyone reading this, your current situation doesn't have to determine your future. You can always turn your life around with the help of the right people.